Okay, well done on completing that Berg balance scale. I know when you came in for therapy, um, you reported that you were having some difficulties with your balance and you weren't feeling as steady on your feet. So we did that Berg balance test to really give us an idea and a starting point in looking at parts of your balance. We looked at both your static, or what we call kind of the standing still balance. Again, that's called static balance, the standing still. And then we also looked a little bit more into the dynamic balance, or the moving parts of balance. So, we wanted to see how you perform with everything. And you scored a 51 out of 56. That's actually a really good score. That tells us that your risk of falls isn't not very high, which is great. However, there were a few things that we noticed in your test that I want to review, because there's a couple more assessments that I need to look at, or we need to do with you, to make sure that we determine whether or not you have a risk of falls. So the first parts of the test: getting up from the chair, standing in place, like we mentioned, standing with your feet close together, moving transfers wise, standing with your eyes closed, feet together, reaching forward. You scored high on all of those. There were no difficulties. You scored a 4 all around. Where you started having a little bit of difficulties were the turning in place, so that you were able to turn in place without any assistance, but it took a little bit longer to complete. You also had a little bit of difficulty when it comes to stepping over on that step stool one. So it took you a little bit longer to complete those 8 steps. You were able to do it, but it took a little bit longer. And then you also had a little difficulty placing one foot in front of the other, when it comes to that. And you had some difficulty standing on one leg. So, that base of support, that higher level, there was a little bit of difficulty, and you only were able to do that for 3 seconds. So, what we're going to do now, and what I'm going to do with you, is I'm going to take you through a few other assessments to kind of to see, and to make sure that you're either not at risk for falls, or if you are at risk, so we can target our exercises to make sure that you are safe, and so we can target our exercise therapy plan, as we go along. So one of the tests that I want to make sure that we do, because you had some difficulty kind of turning in place, and also because you had difficulty stepping over or stepping onto that step stool, I want to do a test called the four square step test, which gives me an ability to look at um, your safety and your movement, and how long it takes to step over an object while you're moving in a multiple directions. So we're going to be doing that one next. I also want to spend a little bit of time in doing some more tandem activities. So we'll be doing a different assessment that looks at your ability to kind of stand, also one foot ahead of the other. We're going to do that a little bit more for an increased amount of time. And then we're also going to address kind of that one leg balance, in and see how well you do with both the right and the left. And our exercises in therapy and our plan are going to target those pieces, that you have a little bit more difficulty with. Hopefully that gives us an idea, and we can set up a really good plan for you.